It's now been 8 months since the major announcement regarding a new themed area for Disney Adventure World, Disneyland Paris' second gate, currently known as Walt Disney Studios Park. This new land that will bring to life the classic animated movie The Lion King, beloved by many people around the world. This would be Phase 3 of the major expansion announced several years ago that is transforming the weakest park in Disney's lineup. At D23 Expo last year, Josh D'Amaro took to the stage and announced countless new additions soon coming to the Disney parks around the world. And for the first time, Lion King was officially showcased to the public in the form of this concept art, one that we would later understand as being outdated and not entirely truthful due to the use of the 2019 version of the characters. After the announcement, 2 models were showcased in the event floor, giving us an early look at their idea of what the land would look like once complete. We now know that even this would later evolve and slightly change as time passed. And this is where we were until this last month, where a lot more has happened, been said and shown, including a new and updated model, new information, and even the filing of the construction permits that help us understand the timeline in Disney's head. So with that, let's dive into everything new regarding the Lion King, or as Disney says, one of the biggest attractions at Disneyland Paris, coming to Disney Adventure World. Strangely enough, the first point we will go through comes not from Disney, but from YouTuber Mark Rober. He got a chance to visit Walt Disney Imagineering in California and was invited to explore a few rough models of what is going to be the Lion King ride. This was the first time we saw what the huge show building was hiding. This will be one of the many scenes in the attraction and clearly shows the scale that Disney is trying to create here, with lush scenes, large set pieces and more. Not long after this video, the Disney annual shareholder meeting took place, and with this, Bob Iger shared a few images of a new and updated large-scale model. This model gives us an amazing point of view with small figurines for scale. We can immediately notice a few changes compared to the first models showcased last summer, including a larger Rafiki's tree, one that looks to be around 8 meters tall and acts as a small weenie between the entrance to the area and Pride Rock. Behind the tree, we see what appears to be the entrance to the ride. Looking at the old models that were more conceptual, this would be an entrance through the rocks. Now it's more detailed and shows 3 different entrances, easily explained as the standby queue line, the single rider queue line, and the premier access queue line. As you can notice, this model wasn't complete at the time the images were taken, and so you can actually see into what appears to be part of the show building. This that is rumored to be themed to caves and caverns, in a way similar to Tokyo Disney Sea's new Peter Pan ride. It's also said that a restaurant in a similar vein as Captain Jack's over in Pirates of the Caribbean could be found here, further increasing the offerings of the land. This model gave us an incredible new look into what the land will look like in a few years' time. But on April 12th, during the Disneyland Paris anniversary celebration, Natasha Rafalski and Michelle Dandolk showcased an updated concept art, now erasing the 2019 version of the characters for the original Simba overlooking the land. This beautiful artwork puts us at ground level, and we can see many new, small and interesting details, like the entrance to the ride with its 3 different queues, the themed lampposts, very large trees adorned with all kinds of decorations and lights, and of course the tall drop with 12 guests plunging down. This wasn't the only new artwork shared, as Disney showcased what appears to be a first look into the Hakuna Matata scene on the ride, combining large set pieces with black light accents and backdrops, and of course audio animatronics. I love how lush this looks, with all kinds of rocks, trees, greenery, and color. It really captures the feeling from the movie, and it gives me great hope that Imagineering will deliver in a big way. More information regarding the attraction was also shared by them, and I quote, "After making their way to the caverns beneath the 37-meter-high Pride Rock, guests will embark on a wondrous and sensational adventure through iconic scenes and scenarios from the beloved animated movie, navigating a path with 3 exciting slopes, including an impressive 16-meter-high descent. With a seamless blend of many audio animatronic figures scattered around a highly detailed environment coming to life thanks to the state-of-the-art special effects and an unforgettable soundtrack. This attraction will be one of the biggest at Disneyland Paris." When the sun rises on this realm after the grand opening of World of Frozen, an all-new attraction blending a spectacular water experience will plunge guests into the heart of the Pride Lands, where Simba will await them for an unforgettable adventure, complete with iconic songs from the 1994 masterpiece. With that, we also got other comments and information from Disney, including Disney Parks blog that shared that the ride will have 3 drops, with the final one coming in at 16 meters, plunging guests at a similar height as Splash Mountain or Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Rafalski later shared in an interview with Le Point something that many fans have been anxious about regarding the cold weather Paris gets during the winter and how that would fit with a new water attraction. The attraction has been designed to operate all year round, with much of the attraction indoors and controlled aquatic effects. Believe me, when it's hot, this attraction will refresh you. As expected, the ride will give guests different experiences depending on the weather. During the winter, you might get slightly splashed, as you could in other rides such as Pirates of the Caribbean, the soon-to-open Frozen Ever After, or even Big Thunder Mountain. But during the summer, none of those will come close to what the Lion King will provide. This will make the attraction perfect to ride at any time throughout the year. April 12th truly was a spectacular day when it came to information regarding this expansion. Because of it, we now know that Pride Rock will top at 37 meters, being actually taller than the North Mountain that only comes in at 36. We know that the ride will have 3 different drops, with the tallest being 16 meters. We know that in the queue, guests will be able to explore many caverns beneath the famous Pride Rock, and that the ride will be one of the biggest in the resort. But even then, there's still more to discuss, because after all the announcements are done comes the hardest part, which is actually building the thing. Well, then Dolk also announced that construction is set to commence this year, during the fall, and only a few days later, Disney filed construction permits for the construction of a building housing an attraction within Walt Disney Studios, exactly where the Lion King will soon arrive. Now, this is just the first step, as now several months will have to pass in order for the permit to be accepted and construction to start. This that is expected to be done by September or October, perfectly clicking with the fall 2025 expected construction start. The good news don't stop there, because we now know that the contracts with the construction firm that will take on the project have been finalized. We know this because they've shared that their confidential client in Chessy has a contract for 66.2 million euros, while having the Lion King concept art above this information. While the situation itself is quite ridiculous, this is actually quite interesting information, because that huge 66 million price tag will only cover the shell of the attraction, or Rubau, as Loopings reported. What does this include then? Well, this is the cost of the show building itself, with the foundations, walls, and ceilings. It's possible it also includes all the weatherproofing, insulation, and others too, but at the end of the day, it's a huge number that only confirms the scope of the entire project. Since we're already talking about the start of construction this fall, it's important to note that the clearing and preparations of the land have already begun. We see this in the latest construction photos. Having removed the trees some months ago, we now see that the land is being completely cleared and getting ready for works to start as soon as they legally can once the permits are accepted. So let's talk about timelines, shall we? I've previously said that I, like many, believe the land will be ready to open in summer 2029. But there are many steps to climb until then. While work will be a lot more focused and less diverse than what has been happening with Frozen and the Adventure Bay expansion, since those included a much larger footprint, a marina and lake, and then the land, we can look at how those have happened and give an estimation for The Lion King. It's expected that construction on the foundations and show building will commence this fall. These will take a long time and could only finish around mid to late 2027, having about 2 years of construction, in line with Frozen. The theming of both inside the show building and out, with the construction of all the rockwork, smaller buildings, pathways, and others, will follow. This should end in early 2029, having a year and a half of construction, once again in line with what we've seen happen already. In spring 2029, Imagineering takes over the nearly finished land for all the testing and adjustments that come before the opening of the attractions. This will take a few months and be ready to open by the summer of the same year. This is obviously a rough estimation of what we could be looking at based on what we've seen with Frozen. As I said, works should be a lot more straightforward since this overall is a smaller project than the whole expansion with Adventure Way, Bay, and Arendelle. If everything goes as it should, the third phase of the Disney Adventure World project will be ready to open in 2029, which is also the 35th anniversary of the beloved animated movie. It's also important to mention that the European market has been shaken by one other announcement, this time from another company. Universal made it official that their European theme park has received the green light and will move forward just north of London. Disney, while having a 30-year head start, will surely feel the impact of this major park and will want to have a better lineup for when it opens. With The Lion King a full 2 years before the UK park is expected to open in 2031, will give Disney a stronger hand to play. If you're interested in learning more regarding Universal Great Britain, make sure to check my video. So now I ask you, what do you think regarding the new land with all the information and imagery? Let me know down below. A new construction update video will soon come, so consider subscribing as not to miss it. And now, as always, thank you for watching, and that's a wrap.